what's up everybody? Hello from very snowy Western New York. This is the first snow of the season, well, the first snow that has stuck. And I had to drag myself out here today. I wasn't feeling the cold, but of course now that I'm out here, I'm really happy to be here. So let that be a lesson to me. So I know some of you guys have been wondering how I'm doing post Pacific Crest Trail. I've gotten some DMs asking me, was my job still there? What am I up to now? What's next? So I thought I would just do a little catch up with you guys while I'm out walking today. So first of all, thanks for caring. That's super nice, very sweet. Thanks everybody. You've all been, so supportive as far as the PCT has gone, and it's just really nice to know that there are people out there rooting for me still, even though I'm done with the trail. So thanks for that. I've been in kind of a weird position. So I work for a scientific research organization at a university, or I did work for them, unclear. And I was supposed to be back, as of the time I'm making this video, I was supposed to be back to work a week ago. So I was on an approved leave of absence. I spent like 2 years getting this leave of absence approved. And for the PCT. And I was supposed to be back last week. But unfortunately, I'm still not sure if I'm going to be able to return. And I was not able to return as scheduled. So it's kind of tricky, even though I work for a university. 97% of the funding at my organization comes from federal dollars in the form of contracts and grants and things like that. And as you probably know, especially if you're American, the government has been shut down. As of the time I'm making this video, it's still shut down, but I think it's going to reopen soon. I think. But anyway, so most of our funding specifically comes from NASA, and even more specifically, NASA Earth Sciences. So NASA Earth Sciences has kind of been on the chopping block as far as funding goes. And NASA generally, I think, is losing some funding. So it's just been unclear if the funding is going to be there for my position. And while I was gone on the PCT, we actually lost funding from NASA for a major program that I worked on and spent a lot of my time on. So, kind of a tricky situation. I kept asking my boss for an update on my job starting in late August, and he just was not able to give me any information. Checked in with him again in October. Still couldn't give me any information. It got to be 2 business days before I was supposed to be back at work. And finally he emailed me and basically said, you can't come back as scheduled. You might not be able to come back in November. You might not be able to come back at all, but no decisions have been made about that. And I was like, well, that doesn't sound good. So I let him know that I would be applying for other things and asked him if I could use him as a reference, and he kindly said yes. So that's basically where I'm at. I'm not back at work. I'm hanging out with my family, and I'm applying for other jobs in the meantime. I mean, I would love to go back to my organization, but it just doesn't seem like a good situation right now, and definitely doesn't seem very stable and secure. So even though I'd like to do that, I'm not holding my breath. I'm moving forward and applying for other things. So hopefully something good comes along. I had a screening interview for a position last week, and obviously that's very early stage, so I don't know if it'll go anywhere, but I feel really good about the job and the organization. So I'm kind of rooting for that one, but we'll see if it goes anywhere. I bet it's pretty competitive. So who knows? Anyway, so that's what's going on in the job front. On the personal front, I have gotten myself back into a workout routine, And that's been feeling so good. It's been feeling so good. And I think it's definitely helping with my mental health. I really struggled after the Appalachian Trail. I got really bad post-trail depression at that time, and I haven't had any of that post-PCT. So I am immensely relieved. Because it was after the AT, it was bad. It was bad, and it lasted so long. It lasted like 6 months. And so I was really scared after this one that was going to happen again. And you know, the AT was a different situation for me. It was my first long trail. I quit my job to go do it. A job I really loved. It was my dream job, basically. And I've been working to get it for years. Finally got it. And after a couple years, I quit to go hike the AT because I just felt extremely compelled to do that after recovering from my back injury and whatnot. And the AT was an absolute dream, and I felt like I met my soulmates, and it was like the best experience of my life. And then it was all over, and then I was jobless and I was sad. But I also really felt that it was a physical reaction to just not getting all that exercise all day and being outside all the time and whatnot, even though I did stay active after the AT. But anyway, so the PCT I feel like is a different story. Whoop, it's getting windy, so it's like, oh no guys. Ooh, rough. Anyway, I feel like the PCT has been a different situation because I've been saving for years. Oh, another thing was I was really broke after the AT. Not that I'm rolling in cash now. I've been working at a university. But, you know, I've been saving for years, planning for it. Obviously, I've gotten a little money from the Carson City to Canada quest portion of it. And even though I'm not back to work, I didn't quit my job. So I feel like that's out of my hands. And I've just gotten so much more into hiking and backpacking and really made it a huge part of my life in the time since the AT. So whereas after the AT, I felt like I was losing this amazing community and experience and everything that I had just gained, I don't feel that way now. I don't feel like, finishing the PCT, I didn't really feel like I was losing anything. I felt like it was just a continuation of this wonderful life that I have built for myself. So anyway, yeah, I think several factors play into me not having the post-trail depression this time. And I am being very conscious that I need to keep moving my body and get lots of exercise and spend a lot of time outside. So I'm doing all the things to keep the mental health in check. I just ordered a sun lamp because my sun lamps are in Colorado along with the rest of my stuff. Because it's gotten pretty gloomy here the last few days. So taking vitamin D, doing all the things to keep the brain healthy and happy. So mentally, I'm doing really well. Obviously, I hope that the job search goes well and doesn't drone on and on. I would like to be back at work. It was a really, really nice break being away from the news and being away from my computer while I was on the PCT. And it was epic, but I think what I realized when I went out to the Vermont Long Trail is that life is all about balance, and I think that I need both. I think I need to be able to use my brain and work on my career, and then I also need breaks to go have epic adventures. And I think I got a little burnt out on the epic adventure portion this year, so now I'm ready to go back to the working portion. So I hope that works out soon. In the meantime, I am going to keep working out. Most days I'm taking my brother's dog Piper for a hike, but not today. He's not working today, so she's with him instead of coming to doggy daycare. I'm spending time with family and friends, and I'm obviously, job searching takes up a lot of time and energy, so I'm doing that. If things keep on going for a bit where I'm not working, I'm may try to start working on my next book. If you guys don't know, I have a memoir about my AT experience. It's called Where the Rhododendrons Bloom, and you can find it on Amazon. So I know people have been asking me, are you going to write another book? And I haven't fully decided. The thing with the AT was that I felt so compelled to write the book and share the story. I just felt like I had such a good story with the AT. And I think I need some more time to think about what the story of the PCT is for me. So I took 5 years after the AT until I wrote my book. If I write this one, I don't want it to be that long. I just, the AT was so emotional for me, and like finishing the AT and it ending was so emotional for me that I needed a lot of space before I could revisit and relive that experience through the writing. I hope that's not the case for this book. I would like to write it sooner than later if I'm going to write it. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I've been thinking about the book a lot. I've been thinking about my PCT experience and the story, but I haven't felt like writing yet. So, we'll see what happens. And I also definitely have some more YouTube videos that I want to make. I have a lot of ideas for videos. I want to do some gear reviews. I want to talk about the PCT versus the AT. I want to talk about my overall impression of the PCT and what I thought about my experience. I want to talk about my favorite places, favorite sections on the PCT. And I got to at some point do a logistics video, and I want to do kind of a whole PCT documentary type video. So I got a lot of work ahead of me on that front. But it's tough. I like to do my videos outside, and the weather here has not been cooperating lately. Whew, my hand's getting tired from holding up the phone because it's so cold out here. Yeah, so the weather hasn't been cooperating. It's been pretty rainy, and even when it hasn't been raining, it's been pretty windy. So, but I like to make my videos outside. So sometimes I feel like making one, and then I'm like, well, it's pouring, so I guess I'll do it later. But anyway, I gotta get on it. I'm gonna do it, I promise. So stay tuned for all those videos. But I just wanted to give a little catch up because I know some of you guys have been asking and wondering. So yeah, that's what's going on with me. I hope you guys are doing great. If you have any big adventures planned coming up, I'd love to know what they are. Drop those down in the comments. And what's next for me? What big adventures? Well, guys, I don't know, because my life is so up in the air right now. I mean, hopefully I'll be back to work soon. But if I'm not, there could be another adventure coming up in my future. We'll see. I would say though, not until at least the holidays are over. But yeah, I'm gonna revisit it. I'm gonna see where I'm at in January. Am I going back to work, or maybe I'll be going on an adventure? Who knows? We'll see. All right. Thanks for being here, you guys. Talk to you later.